What?
We are the Maroon Girls today.
We are. I did not notice that, even though we've been on here for an hour.
See, we're already aligned on the same wavelength for this week.
I don't think
good.
I don't think there's any people as different as us, but still on the same wavelength.
I know, you couldn't get more bizarre, quite frankly, could you? You couldn't get more bizarre. Anyway, hello. What day is it today?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, it's hump day, but it's a good hump day because we're here live this morning to kick off Lockdown Life to Loving Life, the summit. Now, this is all a bit new and fancy, isn't it?
It is, and I keep calling it boot camp and getting done because it's not a boot camp this time.
Boot camp, not boot camp. Hey, Joe Foster, nice to see you. I can see there's a whole bunch of people here, so do come and say hello to us. So yeah, exciting times. Here's Joanne. Good morning, the lovely Joanne. Nice to see you, my dear. Who's this?
That is Stacey. Hi, my love.
Let's StreamYard know who you are. And
hey, Karen.
Hey, Heidi.
Heidi. I haven't seen you for ages.
Hey, how lovely to see lots and lots of lovely faces. So yes, if you're coming on now and joining us, do say hi. Let StreamYard know who you are. You just click that little link that's in the caption above this video, and it will. It means then that we can see who you are, and we can, do you a little shout out on the page, which is always nice, isn't it?
And we get to see a profile picture, which really, really helps.
Like that. Our lovely cat.
Hi, Caroline.
Good morning, my lovely.
Morning, Leanne.
Hi.
I let you in our group this morning.
Did you?
Guys. Fabulous. So I'm so thrilled you're here, and I'm so thrilled to be doing a morning one. Obviously.
Yeah, all for you, so that you get to do something in the day. Don't worry. You'll get to see me in the evening if you're more of an evening bird this week. Claire Walsh is here. Good morning, Claire.
Hello.
Morning, Katie. How are you doing? It's nice to see you.
So if you're joining, waiting for my masterclass, it's coming up. We're just doing a quick opener first, so don't think you're in the wrong place or you're at the wrong time. My masterclass is coming straight from this, but we just say 10 o'clock and then forgot about this part.
No, that was all right. That was always in the jam plan. I'm only going to stay for a couple of minutes and then I'll go and join everybody else on the other side. Watching.
Not like dead, not like on that other side.
No, are you going to teach me something today?
You've probably seen it before, but there's always something you can learn.
And you can learn, something you can learn. So before I do head off, if you're new to all things Ladies Life Lounge, well, I'm Jode, she's Roxy. I know a lot of you here are either part of our core members crew. Big love to you out. Some of you have been hanging around with us for a little while anyway in our free community group. So a lovely warm welcome to you. But if you're new, this might be the first time you get to know us. But Kate's connection is dodgy.
So's mine, which is an issue. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Come and go as you please. It's absolutely fine. So we put together this, ordinarily we run boot camp, but this time we thought we'd do something a little bit different because everything just feels a little bit different right now, doesn't it?
And I don't want a boot camp. I've got enough shit going on to feel, I don't want to feel like I've got to put all this effort in. I just kind of want to sit back and learn some stuff.
Yeah.
So boot camp felt too heavy this time.
Yeah. But we've kind of really put this summit together. Yes, for you lot, but actually born out of we need some help right now. I don't know about you, but coming out of this lockdown feels like a really hard slog. I'm desperate to get back to doing the things I love and living my life in a way that feels good. But at the same time, I feel a bit flipping overwhelmed by it all. I'm tired. I'm knackered. I feel like there's some important things to kind of get sorted for myself so that I'm ready to kind of hit the ground running and have the summer of a lifetime. So that's why we thought we'd do it. That's why we thought we'd do it like this. Who's that?
That's Alana. Morning, Alana.
Hello, Alana. Hello, Alana.
Alana started her business very recently after joining the club on the last boot camp, in fact.
Yeah, one of our most recent recruits and loving life in Ladies Life Lounge. I know Alana will agree with me on that one.
She will.
So over the next 4 days, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, We've got 16 free workshops happening for you, little mini masterclasses that cover all manner of things that help you to live a happy, fulfilling and successful life. They all sit under our 7 secrets. So in Ladies Life Lounge, we're kind of on this mission to turn the notion of being pretty on its head. Yeah, we want to look good, but you know what? There's a lot more to us than that. So we want to help women stop just being known for what they look like, and more for, you know, substance that we've flipping got on this earth. So our 7 secrets of, here we go, pretty confident, pretty calm, pretty assertive, pretty healthy, pretty ambitious, pretty stylish, and pretty personal. Right, personal.
You do not have to pull that face, ladies.
All our workshops fit under these 7 secrets. So we're bringing you an array, a buffet, shall we say, a buffet, an assortment.
Pick and mix.
Pick and mix, yeah. You'd go for a pick and mix, wouldn't you?
I would.
Of different things that we're able to support women within the lounge. To showcase it to you, because we are going to make it really easy for you to come and join us. We're going to open the doors to Ladies Life Lounge for 5 days, from now till Monday.
Till Monday night, yeah.
Monday night. So if you like what you see, you get the chance to come and hang out with us, and we've got a mega special offer for you to do that. So sit back, enjoy, relax. If you can't make any of them live, you don't have to watch them all, by the way, but you know, you can pick which ones you really fancy. But if you can't make the ones you want to watch live, then if you've registered for the summit, then you will have all of the access to recordings and replays sent to your inbox anyway. So you won't miss a trick. It'll be absolutely fine.
Morning, Beck.
Right, that's sunflower.
Oh, we like flour.
We do.
Oh, Alana's back.
So, workshop number 1's all yours, isn't it?
Workshop number 1's all mine. Be warned, it's sweary. There are some triggering images that I'll tell you about before we get there, just in case you want to not look at those. And it's all about how to not mind what everybody else thinks about you, which is completely the key to being confident. And that's such a different thing to being cocky. Ooh, I just nearly stopped my stream. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, don't do that.
I can't promise not to do that. I have very, very dodgy Wi-Fi that's cut out twice already. If they're cut out, just stay where you are. I will be back. So don't panic. Stay put.
While she's sorting it out, I'll come back and do a little dance and or something, maybe.
Just pray it doesn't go then, ladies.
Yeah, you don't really want to see that, do you? Do you know, me dancing is pretty good, actually. Me singing, on the other hand.
I'm not allowed to sing.
No. But I've got some good moves on the dance floor. But anyway, you might get to see if you come to the summer social.
Oh, the summer social, we can meet in real life again, because that's one of the things that we do with our members. We have live meetups, and it's been really hard not doing that. So I can't wait.
Can't wait. Right, I'm going to leave you to have a good one, everybody. And
okay.
See you later on.
Thanks, my darling.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye. Right, ladies. So I'm in charge of tech now, which is really, really dodgy because I am the tech person, but on videos, I break something frequently. So let's get cracking. I can't wait either, Katie. Oh, God, I've got too many buttons to press now. I'm assuming that's for summer social. Right, so, we're way ahead. So if you don't know me, I'm Roxy. I run Life Lounge with Jodie. And I am a mental health therapist. I think I talk about this a bit more in a bit. Mental health therapist and a coach, basically. So this session is going to be on, it's called No Fucks Given, how to not mind what other people think. And it's kind of my signature talk. It's a really, really important message because the women that we work with, all, without exception, when we start working with them, all really, really buy into this idea that they have to behave a certain way because of external opinions. And I'm here to tell you that is not true. So I'm 36. I live in South Sheffield. Very happily married to my darling husband. I'm a mental health therapist. I own a couple of businesses. I'm a total girl geek. I love sci-fi stuff. I love gaming. I adore sports. We love NFL and football. I'm a Sheffield United fan, so I'm not that happy this season. I love books and I like a little tipple. I give no fucks about other people's opinions of me. Now, that's not the same thing as not caring how you come across. And we'll talk about that a lot. But I'm unaffected by your opinion, by any kind of gossip or any kind of praise. And even that feels very, very strange to people. So ladies, pop me a little hands up or a little emoji if you know that when you do things, you decide how good or bad they might have been by what other people are saying, by whether someone gives you a compliment about it. At work, if you wait to decide whether something is good or bad by the feedback that you get. All right, so I'll carry on, but pop your comments in. I'm going to keep coming back to you. You can ask questions throughout this and chip in whenever you want. Caroline says, yep. I ain't got enough hands, Caroline. Yep. I'll be very surprised if we don't get lots of yeps. We got a hands up from Alana. Let's get you past this. So, kind of the point at which you're unaffected by opinion or gossip or phrase is, or basically anything from an external source, is the absolute point of great self-esteem and great self-confidence. And it's the point that you're free. You're free to be able to do things on your terms exactly as you want to. Who have we got saying sometimes? Hi, Liz. Liz says sometimes. Alison's got me a hands up. At the top of your link, ladies, there's a little thing to click that says show StreamYard your name, and then I can see who you are. I have to keep flicking around. Yeah, most of us are doing stuff for other people. So not doing it for other people is the point at which you're free. And that's not to say that I don't care, because not caring would kind of mean that I don't care whether I do a good job, and I do care whether I do a good job. It'd mean I don't care if I'm bringing up kind and happy kids. I do care about that. Or whether I'm being a good wife. I do mind about that. I want to have a happy, healthy marriage. I'm not a great wife a lot of the time. And I'm okay about that because that is my own judgment of it. My husband would not agree with me. Not caring would imply that I don't have feelings about this stuff, and I absolutely do have feelings, but not minding means I'm happy to validate myself, and that's really important. Joe says 100%. I know, Joe. Kaz is totally driven by external validation. Okay. Right, so, I'm on the wrong screen. Here we go. Right, so I'm going to give you a bit of my backstory because it's really, really easy to kind of sit there and think, of course, she's confident. She's on Facebook Live to potentially thousands of people. She's not really got anything to worry about. And it's really, really important that you recognise I am a normal person. And actually, I'm kind of a bit abnormal. So when I was 2, I got scalded. It was a horrific accident, but I was 70% burned. And this was in 1987. And the chances of an adult with 50% burns staying alive at that time was kind of 50%. No, I made that up totally. An adult with 50% burns would basically not survive. But I had 70%, I was 2. I just wouldn't live. But my parents kind of decided that I would. So my body shut down. I remember a story about my dad being in total denial and literally threatening a doctor, telling a doctor that I would survive. And this doctor basically saved my life. So I'm going to show you some images, but I'll not hang about on them for very, very long because they're pretty gross. But we all do like grossness as well, and that's human nature. So this was me. All of my body, apart from literally my face and my left arm, were completely burned. We didn't have the tech that we have now. So I grew up in hospital. I was in pressure garments all my life. When I started to stay alive, basically, they said I'd have to have my hands and feet amputated, that I'd never walk, that I'd never be able to go in the sunshine, as my skin wouldn't manage it. There was a whole host of nevers, stuff that I would never be able to do. But in short, I lived, but I am completely covered in scars. My whole childhood and teenage years, my family would not let me cover them up. And so I was forced into deciding how I was going to view these. And my parents took away the choice of being ashamed of them. They never let me cover them up. And the fact is, I never didn't have a boyfriend. I was never bullied, and they became part of me. So kind of what I'm saying is I have and had a ready-made excuse to stay hidden, to be small. But fuck, I'd have been bored. Now, being a teenager looking like this, I'm sure should have been a lot harder than it was for my prettier friends. But there was a clear difference even when I was younger, and I was fine in my skin. And I was kind of better than fine. I was bloody impressed with what my body could do, what it was capable of. I had skin grafts consistently till I was in my 20s, as my skin didn't stretch properly when I grew. And man, I grew. I was the tallest, lankiest kid you've ever seen with the biggest glasses. These photos, these are just my two favourite photos from school, how I survived school. More looking like this, as the fashion was back then. And I say fashion very, very loosely. Yeah, how I survived school with the confidence I had has always been kind of a question that has been asked of me and that I've looked into for a lot of my life. Joe, how have you not heard my story? So I told this story at Manifest, and I've also told it before, I think, and Joe's been in our members club from the start. So it just shows that you're clearly not paying enough attention to me, Joe. So I like who I am, and along the kind of crazy path of life we take, especially right now, that is the only important question that I want you to be asking yourself. Do you like who you are? And it is really, really cool to be able to say yes. So liking yourself is actually pretty easy. So I'm going to give you some steps. They are, Caroline, honestly, I hated them so much. I remember going off piste, my mum, when I started secondary school, my mum sent me in a skirt. And so bearing in mind, I came from like a little pit family, a little coal mining community. So I'd gone to a little village school with people I'd known all my life. To go to a secondary school then was huge. And my mum made me wear a skirt on my first day, and I fucking hated her for it. And it was one of the best things she could have done. The people from netball teams from the school recognised me, and I was already kind of known without being known. And yeah, it was really cool, but I detested her. They are brilliant role models because I cannot imagine going through this with a child, with one of my kids. Ugh. So I want to talk to you then about my 5 steps to true self-confidence. And some of these feel like I'm making light of them or I'm making it sound easier than it is. But let me promise you, if I can be the person who will go to Tesco in my bikini top and shorts if I need to in summer and know and watch people stop and watch me walk past without giving a flying fuck, you can do it too. Thanks, Stace. Stace was with us at Manifest. In fact, Stace has slept with me, haven't you, darling? Just in the bed. So, too many screens. Step 1 of being truly self-confident. Just bloody decide to. So much of the stuff that stops us is the stories we're telling ourselves in our heads and the beliefs that we have over what other people will think of us if we're confident. You can choose to be your own best friend whenever you decide to choose to do this. It's important that you recognise that you can make any choice you want at any time on any day. It's not a New Year thing where you'll suddenly decide to work on your confidence, or we don't wait till Monday comes around or the 1st of June. Choosing to say, right, today I will take some steps towards working on my confidence is completely doable. This is not a thing where you click your fingers and it happens. But step 1 is that decision to, I am going to put some effort in to figure out and to learn how to be more confident. But it's not something you just say and then forget about. It's something that you start to do every day. You make it a bit of a commitment to yourself. Pretty Confident in Ladies Life Lounge is our base secret. And we know for a fact that the world opens up so much more when you are genuinely, truly confident in who you are, because that allows you to show it to other people. It's a massive thing. So number one, and again, I'm saying, I know it sounds like I'm making light of this, but it all starts with that choice to start looking at how you can be more confident. Okay. Step 2. I love this. So check out the bits you don't like and then decide what you are going to do about them. So if they're physical bits, can you and are you going to do anything about them? So if you are, there's where you start. There's where your commitment starts. But if you're not going to do anything about them, we've got to work on letting that go. So I know I am tall and slim and I am lucky because I am very much built like that. But I know my thighs could do with some toning. I'd love to fix my little wonky tooth at some point, but it's not going to be today. I bloody hate the gym more than I dislike my thighs. So my choices right now are going to be to decide to accept these at this point. At any point, I can make a different decision. And this idea that if we don't like bits of ourselves, that if we can't fix them immediately, we're going to stay unhappy. What a ridiculous notion this is. So I can choose to be grateful for the fact my legs carry me around all day and I can run off on the school run. I can choose to be grateful for the bits I don't like without ever having to decide I like them. I could just decide not to fixate on them, to let them just be what they are, unless I'm going to make a commitment to change them. Because again, how many of you hate something about your body and that's all you focus on? So when you look in the mirror, like my nose is a giant ski slope and I laugh about it and it's not a big deal because I'm never going to fix it. I'm never going to change it. No one else thinks it. It's purely a thing about me. So how many of you have something that you look at but fixate on, but it becomes a huge part of your focus? This step for you is deciding if you are going to do something about it, let's go and do it. If you're not, then we need to work on how you accept it, how you just let it be. You don't even have to let it go. You just have to let it be. Spending your time there is not a useful use of your time. Oh, hang on, I've got a couple of notes. I'm so glad you're much more aware of this, Katie. You've taken massive strides since I've known you, certainly. Absolutely, Joe. And chunky thighs aren't a bad thing. It's our own perception on whether we like them about ourselves or not. I could not run a half marathon. I could not run to school. So I'm guessing our definitions about our legs are completely different from each other's, and that's totally cool. Yeah, this is about focusing, not even focusing on what you do like, just not focusing on what you don't. It's pointless unless you are going to fix it. Okay, so step 3, my favorite, if you know me. Ditch the pressure words. Stop masturbating. So this is the crux of my whole talk. The shoulds, must, got to, ought to, need to, have to. Apart from eat, drink, breathe, sleep, there is nothing else that you need to, have to, must do, nothing. We hugely underestimate the power that our language has on our thoughts. So me saying, oh, I've got to go and get Charlie from school today, has such a different effect on my emotions and how I feel about doing that to, I'm going to go and fetch Charlie from school today. That comes with a choice. I'm dead happy to do the school run when I'm in that mode of I'm going to fetch Charlie, where I'm saying to myself, I need to fetch Charlie, I've got to fetch Charlie. Pressure comes. That pressure is humongous. So I've said there's nothing we have to do. There are consequences to all of our choices. So I can choose to fetch Charlie or I can choose to leave him at school. There'll be a massive consequence if I choose to leave him at school. But the fact remains, I don't have to go and get him. I will go and get him because I love him and he's my child and I want him to be safe, mostly, always. But I don't have to do it. I've got to clean my kitchen. I need to do all my to-do list. I ain't got to clean my kitchen. If my husband said I had to clean the kitchen, I would stab him in the eye with a curry crusted fork. I don't have to clean my kitchen. I'll feel better if I clean my kitchen. The difference between the pressure words and the permission words is huge. But what we seem to fail to realise is it's all permission words. So replacing all of our, I've got to do this, I need to do that, I must do that, I ought to do this. Replacing that with, I can choose to do that, I'd like to do this, I'd love to do that, I'll feel better if I do that. The permission words, I'm going to, I will. The permission words allow you to take off all of that pressure, which then leads to guilt. So I need to clean my kitchen, I need to clean my kitchen, I need to clean my kitchen. It's piling the guilt on my shoulders about my kitchen that doesn't need to be there, that's not helping anyone, that's making me feel inadequate, not good enough, less than other people. And yet I'm creating all that to myself in my own head. So I'm going to clean my kitchen. I'll feel better if I clean my kitchen. Allows me to do that. And how our brain works, and lots of you, again, if somebody tells you you have to do something, how many of you dig your heels in straight away and sort of like, I don't want to do that? Our brain, we do not like being told what to do. But the fact is, we spend so much of our time telling ourselves what we've got to do that our brain gets into a bit of a battle about it. It's like our brain's going, I don't want to. And you're saying, well, I've got to. Saying to your brain, I'm going to do that. Your brain sort of says, all right, then let's go and do that. And it takes away that level of emotion and guilt and pressure that is so, so unhelpful to us. If you're part of the lounge, you will know how much I talk about masturbating and how bad it is for us on every single level. There are very, very few times I will let it slide if a client says they need to do something or they've got to do something. Okay, masturbating is huge. So pressure words, must, need to, have to, got to, ought to, should. Replace them with will, want to, choose to, going to, will feel better if, will feel better when, I'd love to do that. How many times do any of you say I'd love to do that? Because we still kind of put it in a list. Like, I love presenting this, but it'll be on my to-do list for today. Need to make slides, need to do this, need to do that. I want to do all of this, but our language naturally flows to what we have to do, what we've got to do, what we believe, what we're telling ourselves. I cannot describe how much calmer and lighter you will feel once you learn how to ditch the pressure words. Okay? Step 4, be your own barometer. So when I go to bed every single night, I'll ask myself, did I do my best today? And that is not the same question as did I do everything I wanted today? Did I do my best? And the thing is, if the answer is yes, happy days, the world keeps spinning. If the answer is no, the world keeps spinning. The difference is I am choosing to validate myself. So if my answer is no, I'll have a little think about like, what would I have done differently? What could I do differently next time? But beating ourselves up is the most colossal waste of energy and the easiest way to dent your own self-confidence, because immediately you will go back to that feeling of not good enough. And again, compared to what and who? If you are asking yourself this question, there's only you that can validate that, and you have the choice to decide how you view it. So if I yelled at my kids for being brats, I may very well have still be able to say, yes, I did my best today, because you can only behave how you can behave. I can't change that situation. I can't change my emotions. What I can do is recognize, all right, so I got angry really, really quickly. I'll do a bit more meditation. I'll do a bit more stuff that allows me to feel like I'm a bit more in control at times. But that doesn't mean I didn't do my best. And I am cool with that completely. The joy about this is you can have supreme self-confidence, self-esteem, and still be trying to better yourself. And that is the loveliest place to be. I am always striving to be. Karma is almost always mine, because I'm very busy. I get full up very, very quickly, and I can snap really easily. So although I can still say, yeah, I totally did my best, I can still be trying to make that best better for myself, not for anyone else. I don't care if my husband thinks I snapped at the children irrationally, because I know at that point I was at my limit there. But there are things I can do to make my limit that little bit higher, that little bit more encompassing, I guess. So that question of did I do my best versus have I done everything I wanted to do today is that tweak that you can make that will help improve your self-confidence, because there's no better than your best. So whether you achieved everything that you wanted to do that day or whether you didn't, if you can say, yes, I did my best, there's no more. And we can reflect this back. So my children have a couple of rules, and my children have 3 rules, and rule 1 is be kind, always, always, always. There's no excuse to not be kind. You can still say exactly what you want, but you can do it in a kind way. And rule 2 is always try your best, because there's never any more. If Charlie comes home and he got 1 spelling out of 10 right, and I can say, did you try your best? And he can say yes, that's what I praise him for. Nothing to do with the spellings, how much work he put in, how much he invested in himself, how much he tried to do his best. There's no more. That is not the same as doing it right, doing it as expected by society and stuff. Do your best. That is it. Be your own barometer on that, because nobody else can tell you whether you did your best or not. Okay? Step 5, another huge one. And when you let this one go, so aside from masturbating, this is the other huge one. When you can let go of the idea that other people are your responsibility. So how other people perceive you or a situation is not your responsibility. In that case, what they choose to feel is not your responsibility. So my husband could wake up in a foul mood. I could say, are you okay, darling? Do you want a cup of tea? If he says no, I kind of have 2 options at that point. So I can either try to take responsibility for his bad mood and try to make him feel better and cheer him up, or I can decide, okay, well, I've done what I can do here. His mood isn't my responsibility, so I can get my ass out of there. I can go and live my little life for that day, for an hour, for whatever it is. By the time I go back, it's very, very likely he's overcome whatever it is. He's perfectly fine again and everybody's happy. Or I can choose to try to help him and to try and take his responsibility on as my own. But you know, all that happens is we'll start snapping at each other because I'm trying to fix something that can't be fixed because it's not mine to fix. I'll try to fix something. We start getting short with each other. We'll get a bit snappy. We'll end up not talking, and that could go on for a couple of days, all because I took his stuff on as my responsibility. And for lots of people, this feels really, really hard or cold. And it's not that at all. It's the idea that I will ask first if I can do anything, if he needs any help, if there's anything I can do to make whatever it is easier. But leaving people to work through their own stuff is so important, because we can't fix other people. We can't solve other people's problems. We can influence and we can advise and we can be around for support, but we cannot fix problems. Investing your time and energy trying to do that almost always results in a conflict coming back at you where you feel really hard done to because you were trying to help. And this one, as I said, this one is the one that so many people kind of get stuck on because they want to help people. I'm a mental health therapist. I help people for an actual living. But that is not the same as fixing their problems for them. And this is that line where we get stuck and we don't know which side we're on. But allowing people the space and the time to fix their own stuff is so important. So providing in a situation like this, you still behave in a way that allows you to like who you are, and you believe that you were doing your best, then their reaction is their choice and their responsibility. So those 2 things, you behave with integrity in a way where you still like who you are and you are still doing your best. But sometimes your best is not to do the thing that is your instinct, your thing, especially if you are a rock, a fixer, as I very much used to be, and now I am very much not. Don't fan someone else's fire. So a huge part of this is, especially like when other people are your responsibility, when they start getting angry, they can't argue with you if you don't engage. They can't argue with you if you don't answer back. So if you can't help put their fire out, get away from it. Let it burn itself out. This is one of my favourites, and I work with people a lot about stepping back and stop taking on things, because so many times I will talk to people about like what's going on for you at the minute, and they'll be like, oh, my sister's got this problem, my mum's got this problem, and they'll tell you about everybody else's problem, and I kind of am there waiting for them to finish, and I'll sort of say, so what's yours? What's happening with you? Because all you've told me about is everybody else's stuff. But while you might feel it and it might hurt you, if you can't deal with that, if it is not yours to deal with, the important thing for you to do is learn how to put that down. And there are some situations this doesn't work in, but very, very, very few. If you can't change that person, then you've got to let them deal with it themselves. Okay, so that, in a very quick whistle-stop tour, is my 5 steps to self-confidence. But the really important takeaway is work at it. I know I said you've got to work at it. You don't have to. You can choose to work at it. If you want to get more self-confident and grow your self-esteem, this is a learnable skill. But like all skills, like learning to play the piano, I can't sit down and press a few, and I said buttons, keys, and have learned to play the piano. This is not a case of, okay, I've watched this, I'll be confident now. It is a case of, right, what's my next step then? So go back through the 5 steps. Where do I start? Have I even decided that I'm going to work on my confidence yet? But nothing I've said is magical or out of your reach or not doable for you. Every single step has things you can work on. And I know that these are things I repeat frequently. So the masturbating, the moment I am stressed or overwhelmed, more than stressed, I get overwhelmed really, really easily because I let things build up really quickly. The moment I am overwhelmed, I know I start masturbating. I know all my language shifts in my head. All my language shifts is, I need to do that. God, I've got to do that. I'm never going to get all this stuff done that I've got to do. And that immediately piles the pressure on, piles the guilt on, and puts me in a spiral of self-doubt, comparison, all the stuff that I work so hard to get away from. So know that it's a learnable skill, but you have to practice, but you can keep practicing. So even like learning to play the piano, if I then didn't play for years, I wouldn't be able to pick up exactly where I left off, because all our skills are fluid and up to date while we're working on them. As soon as we stop, they get rustier and it's harder to access them as readily. So yeah, this is something that you can choose to work on every day, and I can recognize, oh, look what I'm doing here, and go back to step 1, decide to change it, decide to behave differently. There's a really famous phrase that says, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. And it couldn't be more true than with something like self-confidence. Oh, thank you so much for watching. This is available on replay if you've registered. If you haven't registered, get on the Life Lounge website, Ladies Life Lounge website, and there's a link to come and register for this, so I can send you the replays. But as Jo spoke about before, we are a members club, so we do all this in the free group, but we have a members area, and there's loads of our members on right now, where we deliver all our content, where you've got all our training, and the doors are open for this week. Inside the members club, you get access to a library, a huge library of online videos and modules, downloads under all our secrets. You get 2 live monthly masterclasses that we host. So Jo's host one, I host one, with an industry expert. And you'll get access to the back catalogue of over 50. There are tons in there, and these cover the wildest topics, from food waste to decluttering to the sex. There's finance. There's so many topics in there. You get to come and join the best, most supportive group of women. It's the one thing I'm proudest of in the club, is the group of women that we've got there, because there is no judgment at all and they all have your back. It's just awesome to watch. You'll have a team of resident experts on tap. So throughout these 4 days, you will see all of our experts. They are on tap for you in the club. You can tag them with any questions. They are there to help you out. Thanks, Jo. Jo's one of our members. She says that we are awesome. You are all awesome. You less so. We have a monthly group coaching call. So every month our members are invited to come and take a hot seat if they want to come and talk to us about something they've got going on. And as a group, we'll work through what we advise, what they could do, how to look at things differently. We have a book club that Jo actually runs for us, where we read self-development books. Our next one is The Power of Rude, and it's all about assertiveness. We have quarterly social events with guest speakers. They've had to go back to being virtual for a little while, but our spring one has just been announced. We're going to be in Birmingham. So we take over a bar and we all meet up. We'll be having a talk on something. I don't know if we've decided yet. You get perks and discounts to a load of websites, and you get huge access to Jo's and I for everything you could want. Some of the questions that go on in our group are just ace. They're absolutely brilliant. It's the best thing we've ever created. So normally it's £49 a month or £4.99 for the year. If you join this week, you can join us for 29 quid a month, so less than £1 a day, and you'll keep that price forever for as long as you stay a member. Or you can join for the year for £2.99 instead of £4.99. They're massive, massive savings. I know lots of you might want to watch some of our other masterclasses before you decide, but there's plenty of stuff in the free group for you to look back over and see if you like us and what we do. If you search for bootcamp in the free group, you'll find all of our old free challenges. But if you do decide to sign up and you want to sign up on the back of one of Jo's or my masterclasses, here's the link. It's bit.ly / and this has to be in capitals, this second bit, LL2LL, so Lockdown Life to Loving Life, I've got it called, 21. And if you sign up through that link, you will get a goodie bag, and these goodie bags are just fabulous. So you will get a Pretty Confident journal, which accompanies all the Pretty Confident modules in the club, and a pen. You'll get a Clinique set, a Floral Street perfume, a bracelet. I think you get a discount on a t-shirt from the club. The goodie bag's really, really beautiful. So if you have any questions, I'll hang around for a minute or so. If you're watching this on replay, do #replay and ask me your questions. I'll be coming back in and fielding anything that you want to know, ask, talk about. If you just want to chat, drop them in there. As I say, Jo's and I are available in this free community. You can tag us in there if you've got any questions. Katie says, yes, we are incredible. Yes, you are. Kaz joined us on the last boot camp, so you haven't even been here that long, so since January. And we're your friends already, and that is so ace. Caroline is sorting out our retreat for next year. So we run retreats. We're taking a group of women to Morocco at the end of this year, and Kaz is sorting us one out, hopefully, to Santorini next year. So we do all sorts of things with our members. We've got a spa day running in June, I think, where we're going to spa with a load of women. So if you want in, come and join us. There's nothing to be gained by waiting to the end of the week. But if you want to check out some of our other experts as we go, then feel free to do that. So today we have Claire Sweet doing her masterclass on understanding your financial score and knowing what lenders want to see, which is great. So Claire is our resident finance expert. I'm just loading up. Then we've got Dr. Claire Burley, who is our resident relationship expert. She will be talking to us about how to tame your inner critic using self-compassion. So Claire Sweet, our finance, is on at 12. Dr. Claire Burley is on at 2. And then this evening, it's the day of Claire's, apparently. We have Claire Gregory, who is our resident fitness expert, coming to talk about why you should be doing strength training in your 30s and 40s. So I'm going to get off. I'm back tomorrow, I think. I feel like I really should know that. I'm back tomorrow at 12, and I'll be doing a totally different topic. Tomorrow I will be talking to business owners amongst you about finding your ideal clients in a different way. I'm so sick of the ideal client avatar that keeps getting thrown around us all. So I'll leave it there. Any questions, just tag me in the comments. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.